In this video, we'll be discussing atomic numbers, mass numbers, and isotope symbols. Question 1 reads, what is the atomic number, mass number, and symbol of the chlorine isotope with 18 neutrons? I'm going to start by pulling up a periodic table. And in your screen, if you take a look at the far right, you'll notice chlorine. That number 17 represents the amount of protons in its nucleus. In addition, that also represents the atomic number. So Z is equal to 17. Next, we'll find the mass number. The mass number is represented by the letter A, and it's actually the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So it's Z plus the number of neutrons, which is 18. Z is equal to 17, so we have 17 plus 18, and that's 35. Lastly, they want us to represent this chlorine isotope as a symbol. So what we will do is write down Cl for chlorine with the atomic number Z in the lower left corner. So we'll put 17 down here, and the mass number A in the upper left corner. So we'll put 35 here. In part B, they want us to find out how many protons, electrons, and neutrons are present in the atom chromium, which is represented by Cr. The number in the lower left corner, 24, is the number of protons. It also represents the atomic number. So let's write down Z is equal to 24. To find the number of electrons, that's equivalent to the number of protons. So we have electrons, which I'll represent as E, is equal to 24. And of course, that's only the case with a neutral atom. So if you had an ion representing this atom, that number would be different. And lastly, to find out the number of neutrons, we'll use this simple mathematical formula where A, which represents the mass number, is equal to Z, the number of protons, plus the number of neutrons, which I'll represent as N. I know what A is equal to. That's this number, 52. Z is equal to 24 plus N. If I rearrange this formula, I end up with 52 minus 24, and that will give me my number of neutrons. 52 minus 24 is equal to 28. So the number of neutrons here is 28. Let's try a similar example in question 2. What is the atomic number, mass number, and symbol for the carbon isotope with 7 neutrons? Once again, here's the periodic table. And once you've spotted carbon, you'll notice that it contains 6 protons. So our atomic number, which I'll represent by the letter Z, is 6. Remember that the mass is the atomic number plus the number of neutrons. We're told that there are 7 neutrons here, so the mass number, which I'll represent as A, is 6 plus 7, and that's equal to 13. And we can represent this as C. The atomic number 6 goes right here, and the mass goes up here. Moving on to B, how many protons and neutrons are present in the atom potassium? Well, let's start with the protons. That's the atomic number, represented by the letter Z. It's 19. Since this is a neutral atom, as was the case in question 1b, the number of protons and the number of electrons are the same. So the electrons is equal to 19. And finally, to find the number of neutrons, we'll take 39, subtract it from 19, using the exact same formula as before, and that gives us 20 neutrons. And so there you have it. 2 examples related to atomic number, mass number, and isotopes.